Hi friend, in this video we will be discussing about flow control keywords. So those keywords will be break, continue, return and exit. So in coming slide we will be discussing about each of these control words in detail. So let us start the video. So here first of all we will be discussing about break statement. So this statement provides a way to exit the current loop. So if any loop is already going on and we want to break that one, then we can use break statement. Although break statement breaks the current loop, but execution will continue at the next statement after the loop. So whatever the code is there after the loop, so those will continue as usual, only the loop will be broken. And when break statement is executed inside the inner loop, so if we have a nested loop and in that one inside the inner loop when we provide the break statement, so it will only terminate that particular loop. And when we place the break statement in the outer loop, in that case it will terminate the entire loop including the child loop. So there is difference in nested loop when we use the break statement. So if it is used in the child loop, so only child loop will be broken, but if it is placed in the outer loop, then entire loop including outer loop and child loop both will be broken. And this statement can be used with for each loop, for loop, while loop, do while loop and switch statement also. One more feature is there of break statement, that we can use break statement with level. So when it is used with the level, so PowerShell will exit only the level loop. It will not be exiting the current loop. So wherever the level will be marked, so particular loop only will be broken. And how we can use the break statement? So just we have to use break in the loop, and either we can make it in uppercase or in lowercase because this is case insensitive. So not only we can use break statement to stop the loop, but also we can use it to stop script execution. So to stop the script execution, we will need to place it outside a loop or any switch statement. Now let's discuss about continue statement. So this statement is used to skip the current execution of the loop. So if any loop is there and execution is going on, and in those executions if we want to skip any particular iteration, then we can use continue statement. And after the execution skipped, so it will again return to the top of innermost loop. Continue statement is not generally used alone, it is mostly used with any conditional statement. So when we use it with any conditional statement, then only we can first identify for which condition we want to skip any particular iteration. And those conditional statement can be controlled by loops like while, for each, so that the user can skip some code for a particular specific condition. Now let's discuss about return statement. So return statement can be used for basically two purpose. Either we can use it to return a value or we can also use it to indicate that end of the scope has been reached. For example, if we have any function and from that function we want to return any value, then we can use the value with return keyword. Or simply when we want to exit from the function, then also we can use the return keyword. So when we just want to return from the function, then we don't need to use any value with return, simply we can use the return keyword. So here it is saying that it is used to exit a scope. So what is scope? So scope can be either function, or it can be script, or it can be any script block. As I had told earlier that if we just want to come out of any scope, then we can use just return. And if we want to return any value, then we can use the value with return. So same thing here it is saying. And if we want to just return the value, then it is not necessary to use the return keyword. So if we straight away just write the value, then also the value will be returned in PowerShell. Now let's discuss about the last statement, that is exit statement. So this statement is basically used to exit from currently running context. So wherever the code is running, and if we want to exit from that one, then we can use exit statement. And if this keyword is used in a script, and if we have launched it directly from the console, then both the console and script will be exited. And if we have just used in a function inside any script, and we call that function from the same script, then it will only exit the script. So the particular script which is opened in console will be just closed, and it will not be closing the entire console. And now let's see some examples, then we will understand more on this one. This is first example. Here we will be using break-in loops. So first of all, I have created one variable called $i, and I have assigned value 0, and I have created second variable called var_b. I have assigned multiple values 10, 20, 30 and 40, and I have used for each loop. So var_b is nothing but one array. So we are getting one value in one iteration, and every time we are checking whether that value is equal to or not. So as soon as it becomes 30 and it becomes equal to 30, then this loop will be broken here. And in every iteration there is value called $i will be incremented to 1. So now let's execute this example. So we got output that 30 found in array index 2. So first time it was 0, and in first iteration it became 1. In second iteration it became 2. And in third iteration the loop got broken. So this remained 2 only. So that is the reason here we are getting index 2. Now let's move to the next example here. So next example we will be using labeled break-in loop. So previously there were no label used. So here you can see that I am using break statement, and with that I am using one label called myLabel. So this is nested for loop. So in outer for loop we are going from 1 to 5, and in every loop it will be incremented to 1. And inside that for loop we are using once again the other for loop. So here we have created variable $j, and this one also will be going from 1 to 5, and this also will be incremented 1. And inside the inner for loop we are checking whether I is equal to 3 or not, and as soon as it becomes equal to 3, then we are breaking the outer loop. So we have given label name called myLabel. So this is the syntax when we want to give label name for any loop. So first we have to use the colon symbol, and after that we can use any name. But while calling the labeled loop, we should not use colon once again here. Although when we use the colon it will work, but we will not be getting the desired value. It will be giving some unwanted result. So this is the correct syntax. While defining we should use colon, but while calling we should not use colon here. So now let's execute this one. So here you can see that we are printing value from 1 to 5. So this j will be printed from 1 to 5 here in the inner loop, and every time we are checking the value of outer loop. So for the first 2 times it will be printed over here, and when it comes to 3, when here in this outer loop I becomes 3 and this condition will be matched, so we have provided break with myLabel, so the outer loop will be broken. So that is the reason we have got only 2 times printed 1 to 5 values. And now let's move to the third example here. In third example we will be using continue statement with for loop. So previously here instead of using continue we have used break statement. So break used to break the entire iteration of the loop, and the control used to come outside of this loop. But here it will not be the case. So whenever this condition will be satisfied, so only particular iteration will be skipped using continue, and again the next iteration after I is equal to 4 will continue as usual. So this for loop will be starting with 1 and it will be going till 5, and in every iteration it will be incrementing to 1. So if I execute this one, you can see here that value from 1 to 3 and 5 has been printed, but 4 is missing from here. So why the 4 is missing from here? That we are checking whether $I is equal to 4 or not. So as soon as it becomes 4I becomes 4 and this condition gets satisfied, so that particular iteration will be skipped here, and rest of the iteration will be executed normally, and we will be getting value of $I here. And now we will see example 4 here. So here also we will be using continue statement only, but we will be using labeled continue statement. So here we are again using nested for loop. So we are using one for loop which will be starting with 1 to 5 and it will be incrementing 1 in every iteration, and inside that for loop we are using once again another for loop, and here we have defined variable $j. So in outer loop this is starting with $I, and in the inner loop it is starting with $j. But when we are checking the condition, we are checking the condition of $I which is there in outer loop, and whenever this condition will be satisfied, so we will be using the continue statement, but we will be calling the outer loop which we have defined $myLabel, colon myLabel. So if I execute this one, so you can see here that here loop 1 is there, loop 2 is there, loop 4 is there, and loop 5 is there. Loop 3 is missing from this output. Why? Because we have used here $I is equal to 3, which is in outer loop, and as soon as it becomes 3, we are skipping the iteration of outer loop for the third index. So that is the reason third is not printed over here. Now let's move to the next example. Here we will be using keyword called return in function. So first of all, I have created one function and I have given name test dash return to that particular function, and here argument will be passing, and inside that function I have written one condition, and in that one I am checking whether $val is greater than equal to 5 or not, and as soon as it becomes 5 I am returning the value of $val, and at last I am printing that reached end of the function. So first of all we will be executing this function, and after that we will be calling this one. So in first time we are calling this function with argument 1. So $val will become 1, and here 1 will not be greater than equal to 5, so this condition will not be satisfied. So that is the reason we will be getting output that reached the end of the function. And in next time when we call with argument 6, so val will become 6, and here this condition will be satisfied because $val is greater than 5, and as soon as it is satisfied, so we will be getting value $val returned after the function. So if I call with 1, so we have got the output as the end of the function, and when I call the function with argument 6, we will be getting value 6 here, as I had explained here. Now let's move to the other example. Here we have used the keyword called exit. So here also I have used the for condition. In that one it is starting with 1 and it is going till 5, and in every iteration it is incrementing to 1, and here I am checking whether I became 4 or not. So in every iteration it will be incrementing, and after it becomes 4, so this condition will be satisfied, and as soon as this condition is satisfied it will be exited, and in every iteration we will be printing the value of I. So if I execute this script, our entire console will be exited. So that got exited, and we have come to end of this topic. And to summarize, we have learned about break statement, continue statement, return statement, and exit statement. And at last we tried some practical examples on this. So I hope this was helpful to you, and that's all in today's video.